Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in time and space on this crazy planet. This is Jefferson Davis over at, I didn't put my headphones on here, jeffersondavis.us. I hope everyone's having a good day wherever you are. I just wanted to get on here and tell you that recently gave you an update as far as what's going on in our lives here. But I just want to let you know what my plans are for the future. So, if you don't know, blind photography. Also, there's another YouTube channel called Jefferson Davis. I may be using it. They both have about the same amount of subscribers, so anyone's guess. But blind photography, I'm not doing enough photography to sustain any kind of content. So, this channel and this podcast will have to be about my personal journey, but also assistive technology, what's going on there, the cost of everything, why it's so high. Also, Braille, we can talk about Braille some. I also want to get some people on here that are blind entrepreneurs, or just people that are blind and working or trying to find a job. And if you're not able to find a job, I want to know about it. So we need this stuff. I'm going to keep it real as far as what, life is like for a blind person. There are plenty of other blind influencers. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just trying to let you know what it is like to be blind in the current world. And we have tons of technology to assist us and help us reach you. And I'm very grateful for that. But a lot of it is very costly. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the difficulties of that alongside employment. Because a lot of small businesses don't have the money to spend on screen readers and special magnifiers for the visually impaired, and the sorts of costs that are incurred in employing someone who is blind or severely visually impaired. So we're going to talk about this stuff. And it's stuff that, most blind influencers don't want to talk about it because it's not a positive thing. And I'm a very positive person, but I'm also a realist. So if there is a problem, I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to potentially have a solution to this problem. And I am an advocate. I currently have a bill in the Arizona House going through the process, blind pedestrian bill. This was sponsored by Walt Blackman. I am the one that started the process. I called all my legislators. He's all one to his credit that called me back. And I have worked with him since last May on this bill. Sometimes working with someone, this is kind of a back end thing. It is difficult. There's lack of communication, so we're always having to reach out to these people, the politicians, and get them to do their job. Because if it's not going to make them money or get them reelected, potentially, this is a good bill that protects. It's House Bill HB 2064, if you'd like to go look it up. My name's not on it, but I'm the one that started this whole process in updating the laws in regards to blind and vulnerable pedestrians in the state of Arizona. As I said in my last podcast, I am actually living in Oklahoma, and I love Oklahoma, and I loved Arizona, and I love South Carolina, where I'm originally from. It's just Arizona is not sustainable for average income earners or lower than that, as far as owning a home, which is part of the American dream. So that's why we left Arizona. It wasn't for any other reason. Just couldn't afford to own a home there. So, and I'm not the type of person to throw away money, which I did for almost 2 years in Arizona by renting. For some people, especially blind people, renting is the way to go because you can't fix things, or at least you don't think you can. You're told you can't do anything your whole life. But I want to get you out of that. If you see a problem, I want you guys to get involved and to fix the problem, to get involved with city council, to get involved with committees. We have committees here in Norman, Oklahoma. There's an ADA committee that I've already, inquired about getting on. There's no blind people on this committee, and it's ADA committee. I find that hilarious. No deaf people either, from what I was told. No disabled people, period. It's just a bunch of soccer moms, soccer dads. Maybe they have disabled kids, and that's why they're on it, or it's just something for them to do. But we need to be represented in the in our city councils, town council, and our state and local government as well as federal, because most disabled people, especially blind people, I know this for a fact, all we want to do is contribute to society. We don't want to take from society. We have no desire to take from society. That includes money. We want to work and make a good living, not put together cardboard boxes for $2 an hour, South Carolina. We want to work hard and succeed just like the rest of you. The issue is employers, unless they absolutely have to, they don't want to hire us because there's a lot of incurred cost with hiring a blind person. There's special training. There is screen readers, and my goodness, JAWS, which you have to use if you have anything to do with legality, law, or banking or anything like that. You have to use JAWS because it's proprietary. It's like $1,500 a year for actually it's more like $2,500 for the business suite of JAWS a year, which is a lot of money for like a small law firm or a small local bank to incur for one person, right? That's per license. It's insane. The personal license a year, I believe $652. Don't quote me on that. But it's still insane money for a screen reader when it comes built into my Apple here. My Mac has VoiceOver just like my iPhone. Works great. Never had an issue with it. Windows has a screen reader, but it's very limited. They really need to up their game and be like the Mac, because that's why all blind people use iPhones and use Macs, is because of the VoiceOver. It's so good, and it does such a good job. And it's not perfect by any stretch of any imagination, but it's free. It comes included when you buy a Mac or you buy an iPhone. And it has since iPhone 1. Okay, I don't remember when it became a factor of Mac. I believe that's only been about the last 10 years, but I think it was something you could get and add on, but now it's included in the price of the Mac for all time. So hard to beat that. But most companies don't use Macs, and special legal banks, this sort of thing that I'm referring to. And there's a lot of blind people in the legal world because pushing papers around is what we like to do, even if we can't see them. And it used to be a safe bet for a blind person to get into law, and it also helps, if you want to, in the ADA world, the Americans with Disability Act, if you want to, go after a company for something they're doing, then if you have a law degree, then it just makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to hire or pay somebody. You can do it yourself. So that's why a lot of blind people are in the legal world. But for small firms, they can't afford that, and they just can't afford to hire a person like myself because of the cost. So there's a lot of blind entrepreneurs, and there's a lot of unemployed blind people. So we're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk about the cost of stuff and why this stuff costs so much. I have a magnifier right here beside me. Now, I only have 5 degrees of peripheral vision, as I've said before, but I still use the magnifier on occasion when I'm working. And it goes up to 22x, and to be honest with you, I need all of that. And it's 10, 15-year-old technology.